There you go. Piff, piff. Now, one thing with this mod, right? Like overall, like it increases the game time. Like I could finish this game in probably like 5 hours without this mod, easily. But basically, with this mod, like it increases first of all the game time drastically, makes the game a lot harder, and also more fun with that. Like a lot more content, lot more guns, like overall the game gets like 10 times better with it, in my opinion. But the one downside is that the game gets a lot of bugs. It's not even in the mid-game, like, except for the concept that the Noah dies in the ship in the very beginning, the first area. That's one annoying bug, which influences your ending as well. But other than that, there are barely any bugs which get implemented. They all start appearing in the end. Like once you get to Pripyat in this area right here, that's when you start encountering all the fucking problems. But therefore, until you get here, you have like a much better game. So I don't really mind that much. But it can be kinda annoying. Just hold out here until evacuation begins. There you go, mission complete.
We're ready to go. Get in that chopper. I hope it was well.
Так тебе! Получил?
And now let's see what kind of cunts ending we got. Now you can click no, and then basically the free roam part, where you can do whatever the fuck you want. But we already did all the side missions, or pretty much all secrets, all everything, so just get the ending now. Okay, that's one thing that's annoying about this mod, that in the last area, like the last couple of missions especially, like, even the last area is still fine. It just starts with the... Once you have to go in the kindergarten and rescue the Jew in the fridge, who was locked in there, that's when you start to get problems. Like every mission after that is pretty much bugged.
As a reward for successfully completing his investigation, Degtyarev was offered a promotion to colonel and the position of mission coordinator. He declined the opportunity to work at the HQ and submitted a personal request to be the information about the development of side devices
as well?
obtained by Degtyarev alerted USS commanders. All the information gathered on X-designated laboratories was removed from military archives and filed as top secret. All personnel working in the zone were ordered to prevent the disclosure of information about the laboratory. Several experimental samples were made on the basis of technical documents for Item 62. Following a set of test trials, it was decided not to go ahead with large-scale deployment of the weapon due to the high cost of ammunition. Nonetheless, it would be reasonable to assume that further development of the Gauss rifle is ongoing. Skadovsk became home to any and all who could reach it. Fierce stalker resistance did not stop the bandits from making regular and ultimately unsuccessful attempts to establish their so-called order on the ship. Despite this, following the destruction of the Bloodsucker lair, it's unlikely that anything could significantly change the state of affairs on the Skadovsk.
Usually, bandits get completely removed from the zone in the ending.
In the ever-changing, Freedom managed to earn the trust of stalkers at Yanov Station. Duty organized an assault in an attempt to regain lost ground, and Lieutenant Colonel Shulga was killed in a firefight soon after. The duty squad never recovered from the loss of its commander, and quickly fell apart. The scientific expedition, organized by Professors Herman and Ozerski, was a success. The data they collected facilitated the development of groundbreaking medicine and technology, which prompted the Ministry of Education to allocate additional funding for Gary's stories about the Army's fate scared stalkers away from Pripyat. The few who dared to venture into the city ran into inexplicable phenomena, which added further dark strokes to an already gloomy picture of the dead city. The legend of the oasis stopped being a legend. The identity of those who managed to find a way to the secret anomaly became an increasingly regular topic of conversation among stalkers. Despite this, the number of adventurers trying to find it remained high, something the bandits were quick to take advantage of, with constant offers to lead stalkers to the oasis, which organized mercenary squads continue to be active in the zone. Their interest in the secret laboratories is becoming increasingly difficult for USS operatives to ignore. Attempts to establish the identity of the client who hired the mercenaries proved the area around Yanov Station continues to attract growing numbers of
That's gonna
stalkers.
cancel at the end,
The
always
lack of
cuts off.
dangerous mutants and abundance of anomalous areas have led to the area being referred to as a treasure trove, with increasing regularity. Rumors of Zulu's fate reached the leader of duty, General Veronin. Counter to most expectations, Veronin decided to posthumously award Zulu with the Silver Shield. Vano headed off to the freedom-controlled military warehouses, where his
That's the
cheerful
area,
personality
Stalker 1 and 2.
and optimism quickly earned him the popularity they merited. Ultimately, he took charge of a small group of researchers involved in investigating. A new group appeared in the zone. They are well trained, but their objectives are not known. Rumors say they used to be monolith fighters. Their leader is known as Strider. Senior Lieutenant Sokolov continued to take part in flying missions over the zone. During one such recon flight over Limansk, his aircraft was shot down by mercenaries. 2 weeks later, he was picked up by a patrol near the cordon. Within a month of his rescue, Sokolov had left the Air Force. Having found out about his friend's fates, Cardin gave up dreams of a stalker career. Having overcome his alcoholism, he moved to Yanov, where he partnered up with Nitro to set up a full-service repair shop. Both technicians gladly devote all their spare time to building a vehicle that could operate in the zone. Strelok passed on the information he obtained on his trip to the Chernobyl NPP to the USS commanders. This prompted the government to create a scientific institute for research of the Chernobyl anomalous area. Strelok took up the position of when Colonel Kowalski, commander of the Stingray Group, returned from the zone. He was forced to explain the reasons for the failure of Operation Fairway, following a dragged-out investigation and the brass's failed attempt to make him the fall guy.
I don't know. I would say we actually got one of the better endings. The only thing that was wrong was that because Noah died in the beginning due to a little bug, we couldn't do the last couple of missions that were necessary to go the complete stalker route, so to say, for the ending. So that's why we got the ending that the blah 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 bandits died of cancer and, like, I know, just cancered about in the first area. You can prevent that from happening if you do the last mission for Noah, then the ending will be that the stalkers completely annihilated the bandits, pretty much. But since he died, we couldn't do that. That's the only thing that was wrong with the ending. We actually kept everyone alive, which didn't really show, because... well, it did if you just read along the lines, right? Like, if you would have read what they said, then you would still know what happened, pretty much. But because it didn't get to speak to the end, like... it's kinda unclear what happened, but we got the best possible ending, except for the part with the bandits, which is kinda meh. But whatever. I guess if Zulu would have survived, the ending would have also gotten better, but because he's part of duty, I don't really give a fuck about him, so it's XD. But yes, it was pretty much best possible ending, except for 2 parts. And other than that, it was a 100% run as well. Like, we pretty much did everything there is to do in this game, which is also why we took ADHD long. Like, if you want, you can beat this game in like 5 hours, but XD. well, I'll do for now. Bye bye.